if you're building classic furniture with classic cabriole legs like this, those are bandsawed and carved. And I've done a few of those. But if you're doing Queen Anne furniture, sometimes they don't put real cabriole legs on, they put on what I call mock cabriole legs, or sometimes they call it spoon foot because of the shape of the spoon. Hello.
You got everybody's attention.
And so this is basically what it is. There are two ways of doing this. This one would be like for a circular table, where the spoon comes off of the flat. So if the rails of the table are going like this would be appropriate. If you were doing a chair, you'd want it to come out of the corner, off the diagonal, like this. And so I've got a sample coming off the flat. I'm going to turn one coming off the diagonal, and I'll show you the layout. When I first did these, I'd read an article and it told you to offset the bottom, the foot, because this is basically offset turning, multi-axis. And you do that, and you don't get a good transition here. And I got some information from a book, and it said you offset the top a little bit, and that's how you do it. And then years later, I saw a video with Alan Batty, and he actually shows you how to lay out the offset. So this is what we're doing. You can
so that the neutral point is exactly at the start of your
or close
of your pommel.
Yeah. So laying one out.
Well,
Laying out. Okay.
it's in the video now.
Does this show? Is it showing on the screen? Where do we have to put it to show?
It's on that camera.
Oh.
That piece of wood is in there.
There you go.
Okay.
If you hold.
So, on the bottom, you're finding your usual center. Okay. And then you find the distance that's halfway to the outside. And that's where your second center is going to be. Okay. Then you've marked where your pommel, or the square part, is going to be. And on the bottom, where you found that second center, you extend that line across. Okay. And then from that point where it meets the edge, draw a line from that point through the center of it's there, John, through the center of your shoulder, and then continue it on to the other end, and then strike that line across, and then your second center on the top end is offset that much from the center. So this one's offset this way, and the bottom's offset this way, opposite directions. Okay, and that gives you a good easy blend here at the shoulder. Okay, if you're doing the diagonal, which is what I'm going to be doing now. So on the bottom, you find your center. Is this visible? Okay. And then you mark your offset just like. Perfect. Mark your offset halfway to the edge, just like you did on the other one. And then you extend that line across to the diagonal, so that you're offsetting a distance from the center point to the second center. The same distance is the same offset distance. It's not half the diagonal, it's half of the perpendicular. I wonder if she needs to go out. Yeah. She basically hasn't been able to keep food down for over 24 hours. I'm taking her to the bed after this.
She's learning wood turning first.
Yeah. And then you do the same thing, you extend that line onto the edge. draw the line through the middle of your shoulder and onto the other side, and gives you the same offset, except you extend it onto the diagonal,
And opposite to the other.
in the opposite direction, yes. Okay? These can go around and you can look at them and try and figure it out. What? I don't think she's got anything. I mean, I didn't feed her until I got her down here, and I gave her half of what I usually give her, and she didn't eat that. So. This is a good project for practicing your skew. Actually, I brought a blank to do another one where it comes off the flat. If you want me to turn a second one, and I can show you. You can do it all with gouges too. You don't need to use a skew.
So currently you're not offset, right?
Currently, I'm not offset, as you will see. And first thing I'm going to do is do the shoulder cut. And what I've done is I've scribed 2 lines, one where the leg's going to end, and one that gives the amount of curve in the shoulder.
Did you say which chisel you use each time?
Sure. This is skew, 1-inch skew.
Is that a dovetail?
What?
Is that a curved skew?
I do mine with a slight curve, yes. A lot of people do them straight. When I first learned to turn, they recommended one also called a square end chisel that was basically a skew, but it was at 90 degrees. And that was wonderful for planing. But this I can now do equally well with. I don't know that there's any great advantage to the curved one. The one class I took was with Richard Raffin, and he was a proponent of the curved skew. And I like it, it works well, but I don't know that it's any better than a straight one. And people do them at different angles. Some people have them more acute and some less acute.
So about the simplest shape compared to bowl gouges and everything. The amount of discussion going on about shape of skews and whether to use them at all on the very forms is quite amazing.
So I'm just going right on the line. Turning from one side. And then to the other.
There you go.
And there's our shoulder cut.
Now, you guys are in charge of that side, because I can't get to it.
So basically, when you're doing this cut with a skew, you just angle the skew at the way, in the direction that you want to cut, and then you roll it like just a tad. For me, it would be past midnight. If you're thinking of the hands of the clock, for you, it would be.
Hold it
You're
down a
cutting,
little bit.
you're cutting with the tip of the
I'm cutting with the
corner
with the toe. Yeah.
Hold it right down near the wood so we can see it on the video.
What?
at the wood
When you describe that. So what do? Can you describe that again?
Okay, so it's angled in the direction that I'm going to cut.
Mhm.
Okay, and then rolled over just a little bit.
Okay.
As Alan Battery would say, you roll this 1 inch, 1 minute past midnight. 1 minute past midnight. Actually, if you guys looking at it, it'd be,
160.
1 minute before midnight, looking at it from the opposite
So-
side.
When I make that cut,
Mm-hmm.
I hold mine this way around
Really?
so that
That's
I
dangerous.
drift it. Well, maybe. So
Okay.
the wood turns like that, and I slowly drift it in this way a little bit, and it just very slightly. I mean, I guess you could catch it,
Yeah.
But I'm almost flat on the end, but if I go that, then it slices through the fibers instead of the tip catching it.
Well,
Just have
it's
a bit
not,
less
it's
chance.
slicing.
But
It's,
Yeah,
It's almost-
you're at a very
it's
acute angle, so it's gonna
just-
slice it.
it's only off vertical by a skosh.
Yeah, well,
That's a technical term, folks,
There you go.
skosh.
Absolutely.
there you go.
Okay, and now so that I can do this in one.
What speed are you using?
Fast.
I think like 2,500 or something right now.
Sorry about that.
If somebody wants some glasses to look up close, then
Says 27. Okay, so now the next thing is to bring this section down to round. Now, the nice thing about the roughing gouge, if you keep it ground square across like this one, which is the traditional way, there are also people that advocate putting a slight curve on them, is that to get down to this joint right here, you can just roll that corner over into it and do that quite nicely.
So it's like a peeling cut at that point.
you run a pull cut.
Yeah, I did that one with the back cut, which is, you can get a pretty nice surface off of that.
Yeah.
You
That
see
way.
the chisel was
So
going
basically this way,
back to the curve instead
and
of
just going back like that.
cutting in the front.
Any particular reason you'd want to do a back cut?
It often cuts cleaner.
Oh, because it's running
Yeah,
along the
yeah.
bevel. Wow.
And saturate.
I get vibration. If I put- Even though this is a short, fairly thick piece, if I just push on it too hard there in the middle, you heard that chatter.
So why is the chatter from pushing on it too hard?
Flexes the wood, starts bouncing. So the reason I'm cleaning it up now is because later it will become obvious. very difficult to put a skew on that. Don't breathe.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't stand anymore. So people don't have trouble with it.
Yeah, you gotta get it smooth now.
That's 150. So at the bottom, I'm going to put a pad on it of about 3/16. And everybody see have a pencil?
You're supposed to hang on to it, John.
Oh, my bad. And we'll do the toe of the foot about right there.
Put it on your lathe so you can get to it again.
I don't need it anymore.
On the pointy stick, those little grooves are 1/16 punch. So the whole thing half inch wide.
And just sort of rough the foot in. Now, what you don't want to do at this point is like, if you looked at the pad on the bottom of that finished leg, why am I even wearing this?
Because you're trying to be safe?
Yeah, but if you watch Alan Batty's video, he does not have a face mask on.
You're not Alan Batty. And we
That's
advocate safety.
Okay, you should wear a face mask. If you're going to cut your foot down this small, you'll cut away your second center. So you have to do the bottom of the foot. Okay, oh, time to go off center. Okay. This
And now this bit should be exactly standing still if you measured it all right.
or pretty close. I maybe took that leg down a little small because that's right at the edge. So I should not need that. Nope. This is one time to make sure you rotate ahead of time because you're now off center.
Which you should be doing all the time.
You always do that, yeah. Because you see this bit here, that's the centerpiece of your turning now. See, that's. Let me keep rotating. Yeah, no, we're touching. Okay, now we're
It's
off.
close to the edge there.
Now we're still touching.
Nope.
Sure does.
It's getting exciting.
Yeah, it is close to that edge over there.
Yeah, really.
We're going to turn the speed down.
Got it.
Hard hat area.
It's always gonna move.
But that's the transit
There's
point
something to
between
be
the
said
square
about
and
your
the
face
that's
shields.
where
And the dents in the air cleaner can tell you.
That just seems like it is
Hard to
offset
take
too
a girl to
far.
the gash face.
Do they make face masks for those cameras?
So, what's the trajectory here?
I didn't have one.
Wow. How many
At
times
him
you
or
run
up
it?
there? You
I'm
guys.
actually thinking of getting a camera like that so we can record and be able to see it.
Yeah, what speed are you gonna run this at?
We'll see.
And then I'll go side by side or something.
So I've turned it all the way down.
Martin, what do you want to back up?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, sorry.
I don't know if it's because I took too much. I can't have taken that much off. But it's gonna make a very thin leg if I leave it all the way out there. Worked perfectly yesterday. So probably you can see the ghosting, the shadow. And what you're basically doing now is turning away the shadow.
Don't cut into the foot at this point.
I'm going to go some spindle gouge and put more curve on the foot. So that begins to look good. What you don't want to do is cut through too deep and take away all the flat on the back and lose this nice line here.
This is a daily job to come and start butchering.
So you can see we're nice and round all the way through here. You still have a nice line here as the foot comes in. And I'll turn that up.
Standing with a tool rest in place.
I know.
That's the important safety feature.
Yeah, if the string gets caught, you want to make sure it gets cut off cleanly by the tool rest.
Exactly.
Pulling your whole arm in.
It keeps the dust off your smock.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
It's how I collect sawdust for filling cracks and stuff. have to go to a little coarser grit if I was doing this for real, because we've got just a tad of torn grain here where this knot is. It's being difficult. But anyway.
And of course, the trick then is to make 4 of them exactly the same, or 36 exactly the same, so still have your entire dining
Yep.
set.
Okay, so
Or you just advertise each one as unique as a feature.
That's,
It's,
and now you go back to the original setting.
back to the original settings.
Now that whole thing is going to be well off center again, off balance. And
But we're only turning down here now.
just slow it down again.
I don't think so.
That's not that easy, I suppose.
Make it heat a smaller diameter. I'm not sure this wood was my best choice of wood because it's almost the same color as the floor. And it's kind of hard to see the profile. Cutting tool to roll this bead down here. You can either leave, I mean, you can leave the pad, square like this, or cutting tool works well here to roll this half bead. Yep. Because it can get into that corner. Now remember, before I put it off center, I skewed the leg to clean up the back. You keep it that way. You can see you wouldn't want to put a skew on it now. If you're back on center to try and clean that up.
Really quick.
Get it in and out action going properly.
And you have a leg where it's
Now you have a leg to stand on.
coming off the corner.
You can make a little coffee table with 4 of them.
Or a footstool or something. So your rails would be coming in like this.
Or then you could like carve the end into the little toes or claws.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Like
Yeah, you would
this.
turn it slightly different then, I suppose.
So there.
Thank you, John.
So I don't know, do you want me to do one the other way, or have you seen enough, or?
What was the other thing you were gonna talk
The
about?
other thing was those?
Oh,
You want me to
you
knock
guys
out
wanna see the stamp being done?
Kind of thing. So,
It won't take long.
President's challenge for next time then is multi-center turning.
Sure. Actually, why don't you bring me both of them?
All right.
I wanna try stuff. I wouldn't be able to.
So while you're turning the foot, you don't want to touch the bottom because that's the height of the leg that you have to keep. So if you cut the planks to the same size, you make this at exactly the right distance.
Right.
So this now defines the height of your table. Well, if you wanted to rock, yes.
Lucky Center. I've never actually.
Turn here, but you don't
No, I did
park
that
all the way
one.
down right to
I'm not
the
gonna
I haven't done it
pitch.
for that in a while.
Definitely not ready. I'm gonna stick to round balls.
Yeah.
But you saw the bowl that I was working on there?
Bucket cake.
No, the other one. Yeah, I just bought that one. The Cypress one. I was turning one yesterday, and I had lines on the rim just about that long, just all the way around it. And it looks great. There's a slightly off center, so a little high center. So they were like, here's the center, and like this, right? So it's a little bit different. And it came out absolutely gorgeous. I'm like, yes. So now a little bit, I think you're really good. Now much carve out the center one right there. I haven't done that in years, and now I've done 3 of them in the last
I
week.
did it twice in a row.
Yeah.
I think
A
it's the last
piece,
time
a piece of cherry I did that too.
You want to toss me one of those out of the box?
Just anyone?
Yeah. So,
Listen up. Listen up. Thank you.
I might say something worthwhile. Accidents
Or,
happen.
never mind, forget it. This is John after all.
I'm so intense.
That's a good thing I'm checking this. Yeah, these are 1/2 inch. But I think,
Isn't there a way to make the pressure put the
I guess that's what I was doing. Yeah, okay. So this is the design for Syria. And because I wanted to be able to finish the top off really nicely, you could do this just between centers at one time, but you'd have a little something up here on the end that you'd have to clean up on every one. So I'd rather, I think it's easier or nicer to do it the way I'm going to do it, which is in 2 steps. First I'll turn the tenon and this fillet right here. There it is. This fillet right here. Wait a minute. Wait. Where'd it go? This fillet right here.
There we go.
There we go.
Just move
So
the
the
camera.
tenon and this fillet right here, and then I can turn it around and put it in the chuck and hold it by the tenon and do the rest of it. I actually did these in groups of 5 because there's a basic design for each 5 and then they change, and so I did the tenons on all 5 and then opened up the chuck or closed down the chuck and went to put the tenons in and did them all at the same time. So, So first thing is to clean off the corners, which you could do with the roughing gouge. You could just go ahead and do it with
What's that one called?
feeding and parting tool. It's basically the same thing as parting tool, except it's
Really big.
but it's wide. Yeah. And you could go with the spindle gouge too.
The roll gouge.
You could even do it with a ball gouge, although why you have a ball gouge in this?
Is this sharp and the other ones aren't?
Something, piece of metal with a sharp edge.
Whatever's got a sharp tool in your shop. I mean, you can do it with a skewer too. So I made the tenons basically 5/16. This is 3/8. So I know it's about a 1/16 less than this. Let's see how close I got. That one's over by 10 thousandths.
You're fired.
And that one's under by a couple. So with this softwood, that would be good enough. You could force it in. Now it's good. And then there's another measurement in the middle that's 3/4, which is what, yeah, this one is set to. But that little fillet that I'm talking about that I want to set now is 11/16. So now it's 3/4. And now down to 32nd, and that's done. I'm just going to show you also.
Ready for it? Roughing gouge?
You can also rough. Rough with the skewer too.
Just keep it above the halfway line.
Just rub your bevel. Okay, again, 10 5/16. Okay, it's probably good. Three-quarters. 11/16, that one's done.
Yep.
I guess the dents that you're making in the tenon this way are just good to hold the glue once you glue them into the blocks.
Exactly. Okay, so Clamp it down. Now I need to take a certain amount off the end of it. When I was doing this, I had a mark on my tool brush, and I just put the tool on the mark, made sure it was 90 degrees. I happened to know it was about this distance, so I just couldn't stop using the mark.
I left you the green masking tape there, especially to make your marks.
Thanks, but I'm past that. Okay, so the large diameter of the round part on the top is 1 inch, and the whole top is 3/8 of an inch long, which is exactly the width of this. So that's it. Then the design steps in just a tad. And back to those ones that are set at 3/4. Now there's a half bead. I took this down 3/8 right here. 3/8 wide with the parting tool. But there's a half bead that goes down to 3/4. It's about 1/8 of an inch wide. So I'll come back and cut it with this. 3/4, 3/4, and then down here I know it's going to be less than 3/4. So now it's roughed in. Roll the top. Oh.
Where you put a rubber mat onto it, maybe. You catch those things.
And then there's an off-center cove with a fillet here for the half bead. Close the skin, come up the other side, clean up the end grain. Now I'll roll that half bead. To the top of the base. Now it's going to cove in from that fillet at the bottom. Go like that. Bogey. So use side cut. Because it's fast. And clean it up. Too much of the corner there. This needs to be a little rounder. And clean up the fries. Okay, so there's the basic shape done. So now it's time to put beads and bead grooves in for the design. And this is a neat little trick. So I'll do like 3 beads up here. can do the V-grooves with the spindle guide, but you won't get as clean a cut as with the skewer. And normally I would just sand with 220, but since I don't have any, you can't really see the shape on those beads. And then some of them, before I do that. Put a little finger on top. So that's one. And out all the yakking.
John, there's tear out in this. John,
What?
there's tear out on here.
Huh.
You'll find it right there.
Uh-huh.
See it touching the tool rest. He didn't spin it.
What is that weird noise, folks?
That's the wood touching the tool rest.
Not the tailor. It's not that.
Lock the tool rest. Or lock the spindle. It's the spindle vibrating.
I am this design. Never mind. Yeah. This one I will just. Don't need no thin ones. Make sure there's no sharp edge there. And that's that.
Just tomorrow.
Don't handle it roughly.
All you have to do is do that 29 more times and that comes in.
What are you buying?
But it is, it's practice, it just makes you better, it's fun, you get in a rhythm and just knock them out.
Yeah.
How about the following Sunday?
You're welcome.
Okay.
Oh, it's little
Sunday, I have a show.
Well, if you get one of these checks, you can,
Whoa, whoops.
I'll look at it.
Got so excited.
you can
What's the
do
Sunday
multiple,
Yeah.
put
Only
multiple
Sundays?
jaws on it.
Yeah, we have the check, but not with the
Let me
little.
go to my
Well, you can
calendar.
buy
Hold on.
separate sets of jaws.
Okay, yeah.
Really only the
What about
weekend. I can do it Saturday.
Monday?
It was during the recession that everybody was having sales and going, things are never gonna be cheaper than this, and I actually still have money. I got 3 bodies.